Hey there, you're watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today I am here with more of Dr. Leslie's madness. Wait, no. The infectious madness of Dr. Dekker. And we are playing as Dr. Leslie. I'm role-playing through the game, and it's getting a bit hard. We're 80% through this act, and things are getting darker, they're getting weirder, they're getting cooler. And so we're going to head on in because the doctor is in.
At midnight each day.
So I'm going to skip that because we've seen that in different episodes. If you haven't seen it, it's been at the beginning of the last, see, episode 1, 2. Anyway, okay, so it's been there for a while. Lacey and Jasmine, I have realized that these are patients that are, they are not necessary to the plot, basically. They're just sort of extra fun patients for you to do. And that's why they're automatically set to Amber. They don't have anything that's important to say in regards to Dr. Dekker's murder. They're just someone to practice your therapy skills on. And also, while I'm at it, I'm going to pause real quick here and see if I can't pull up the names of the actors in case you're curious who this particular actor is. Hold on. Okay, so Jasmine is played by Rosie Hefferon. And Lacey is played by Carolyn English. This is Lacey. Yeah. She's a good actress. She's a little scary. I'm going to say that. Yeah. It's like the kind of the don't want to mess with her type, basically. So anyway, these two folks here are people that you don't have to interview in order to talk to. Find out more about Dr. Leslie. So let's try in this episode to get Jaya, Bryce, Claire, Ellen, and Nathan to Amber. Jaya, could you come in here, please? Jaya walks in wearing a beautiful striped summer dress and stares at Dr. Leslie. Yes, Dr. Leslie. So we have, we've asked her about Dekker. We've already asked her about Valentine's Day, I'm pretty sure. Let's head over here to our notes. Ellen accused of stealing. Bryce was taking a sleeping pill. Yeah, not much else here to go with. So let's just start with... I don't know if I've said hello to her. Did I say hello?
Hey you. Thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it though.
Grief thing?
Oh, I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him.
Achievement unlocked, yes! I have no idea what I'm doing to unlock these achievements, but I'm not complaining. Feel a bit numb. Well, I'm here to help, Jaya. I also find this murder to be very traumatic. Please, could you share with me about this numbness that you feel?
It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you'd fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think.
Oh, she's such a good actress. You know, I saw 2 words in there that might be helpful. I apologize. This is not a game to play if you have short-term memory loss like I do.
It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary...
Let's try solitary. Solitary.
I don't know anything about that, I'm afraid.
Okay.
It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in.
Let's try confidence and good listener. See if any of those get us anywhere.
I think you might be barking up the wrong tree there.
Well, Dr. Leslie says, when working on my own confidence, particularly to sit here and work with the patients, I must say, well, it's a rather large tree. Let's see. Confidence and, short-term memory problems. Let's move on to Alderby, so I don't kill myself trying to figure it out.
Professor Alderby is a trustee. Did I not mention that?
You know, I think that to save us a whole lot of grief, I'm going to type in hint and see where we need to go. Who had a session on Valentine's Day? I never would have thought to ask that. I swear I wouldn't have. No. Jaya, who had a session on Valentine's Day?
On Valentine's Day, Dr. Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange.
Okay, that's all we needed. So lesson learned, instead of guessing, I should just use the hints because I would never have realized that. Never. Why did Dr. Dekker call Nathan the day he was murdered? I should ask Nathan. Okay. Well, thank you, Jaya. We will head on to Bryce. Bryce, we had gotten stuck on 2. We got to all green. So I'm just going to go for a hint here. If he knows anything more about Dekker. Dr. Leslie leans forward, some curiosity. I've heard a lot about Dr. Dekker. I'm wondering if you have anything more you should share, or could share. Do you know anything more about Dekker?
I dug the grave for Dr. Dekker. I helped carry his coffin to the burial site. Do you know what? It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Why do you think that is?
I really couldn't say. Dr. Dekker was a sizable man. You're saying there was no body in it? In the coffin?
No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine.
What do you mean a decoy?
I'm guessing he was buried somewhere else, or cremated. Somebody somewhere didn't want his body going in the ground. Do you want to be cremated or buried, Doctor?
I have not. Well, that is dishonest of me to say. Of course, to hide behind a lie would not be very effective counseling strategy to show you. I wish to be buried. I find it's more final.
If you're buried, people can bring you back. You don't want to see people when they've come back.
That's great. But Bryce, no one ever comes out of the ground. I know when you're cremated, you're ashes, but still, people hold on to the ashes. By final, I mean that I'm in the ground. I'm not on the mantle or next to the bed. Plus, the cold ground could be comforting. Yes. Well, Dr. Leslie glances to the window and it is raining again. There's a horn honking outside incessantly. And far off in the distance, she can hear church bells ring. I'm going to ask him about temazepam. I don't know if I've asked him about that specifically.
I don't know.
Yeah, nothing. Okay. It looks like that's it for Bryce. We're going to start having shorter and shorter sessions with each client. We'll say they're pick-me-up sessions, basically. Because once we get to Amber, I want to move on to the next patient. And did you see Dr. Dekker on Valentine's Day? I'm going to type it out just to make sure.
The day Dr. Dekker was killed, I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him.
The last time, you're sure?
Sorry, I don't know anything about that.
She just said, let's try the last time you saw him.
Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though. As did he.
Oakley dokley. Claire, if you do not give me more information, it'll be very difficult to ascertain the complete nature of your problem and propose a cure. But I will respect your wishes for now. Okay, Claire, responses. So I wonder if we could ask other people if they saw Dr. Dekker on Valentine's Day. I wonder if there's like a copy-paste feature here where I could just like copy that and slap it in here. If I could drag it over like that, that would be great. All right, that brings us to Ellen. Can she tell me anything else about Dr. Dekker? Fourth recording of the day. That's what you expect. Anything else about Dr. Dekker?
Yes, I had a session with Dr. Dekker on Valentine's Day. 3 o'clock, I think. Just a few hours later, he was... I still can't get over it.
Let's see that again.
Yes, I had a session with Dr. Dekker on Valentine's Day. 3 o'clock, I think. Just a few hours later, he was... I still can't get over it.
Let's try 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock.
Dr. Dekker seemed fine on Valentine's Day. He seemed to be in a good mood. It didn't seem like anything was bothering him.
Interesting. Still more to go with her. Oh, and so what else did you do on Valentine's Day?
Actually, I had a hot date. It wasn't anything serious, just some guy I know. But it was a nice date, different to what I'm used to.
different to what you're used to. How so, Ellen?
It was very traditional, old-fashioned, you know. Dinner at a nice restaurant. Then we went for a little walk along the pier. Held hands, had a bit of a kiss. Then he called a cab and I went home, alone.
He called the cab for you, or did you walk?
I think it was about 11 when I left Max. I'm sure you could check with the taxi company if you really wanted to, if you think I need an alibi.
Max, that's some guy you were mentioning.
His name is Max. He's really sweet, but I don't see a future between us. He's not really my type.
What is your type?
I feel like you're asking me questions about something I don't know anything about.
Boy, I'd love to know Ellen's type, but that brings us all the way down to Nathan. If you can guess what Ellen's type is, let me know. I think she likes them really tall and really hairy. Let's head down to Nathan as Dr. Leslie's last client of the day, and we have a question to ask Nathan. Maybe Jaya should check Ellen's alibi with the taxi company. All right. Did Dr. Dekker called? Nathan. After they've had some time in their session, and Nathan has talked about, well, just life and whatnot, Dr. Leslie asked Nathan about Dr. Dekker. Did Dekker call you? Nathan, did Dr. Dekker call you on Valentine's Day?
It was a missed call. It was Valentine's Day, so I wasn't in the mood for conversation.
Missed call, but you knew it was him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That brings Nathan to Amber. And we can move on now to the next act, which I'm going to do right now because we are getting closer and closer. But before we do, like Lacey and Jasmine were two extra patients that we could just see and practice our skills on. Jaya, Bryce, Claire, Ellen. One more thing. Let's ask Jaya. Jaya stops typing and comes in. Could you check Ellen's alibi? On the night of Valentine's Day, she says she was in a taxi.
I don't know.
Okay, let's try taxi company. I'm trying to avoid having to type all that out.
One step ahead of you, boss. Elin was picked up from the pier just after 11 p.m. There is no way she could have got from there to here in an hour.
Okay. So, Ellen's alibi is solid. However, did Ellen see anyone else? Ooh, I want to bring Ellen back in really quickly to ask her if she saw another woman. Because if you remember, let's head down to Mariana. Mariana said that she, on Valentine's Day, was walking along the beach. Oh, we also have a couple things that we can do here to get her. Let's just see.
I didn't do anything on Valentine's Day. I washed my hair and then I walked along the beach for the whole night. It's actually true. I saw one of your patients, actually. The nurse. She was on the pier with someone. Pretty much all of the night, too, so I can vouch for her, even though she probably didn't see me.
All right, let's see if we can get Mariana's questions done.
Dream where I find something beautiful in the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secrets.
She's kind of laying it on a bit thick. Dr. Leslie is unmoved. Mostly unmoved.
Wouldn't you like to know? Is our session up now?
Mariana feels like the type of person that if she got angry, as that stereotype of temperamental redheads would state, that she would be quite a force to be reckoned with. Let's talk one more time about Dr. Dekker.
We went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He said it was a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be.
So, we asked about drinks and we asked about persuasive. Didn't you know? Maybe that's a question I need to answer. No, I did not know. No, I did not know, Mariana. Dr. Dekker did not put that particular session in his notes.
No idea.
Yeah. Didn't you know? See that one more time.
We went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He said it was a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be.
Let's try breach.
You know, like a breach of ethics or something. Girl doesn't ask for details.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get anything else out of her. So we're going to move on to, let me know, of course, as always, if you were able to get something out of her. That's a little bit more, but we have everybody at Amber, so let's move on to Act 2. Dr. Leslie ends a long and tiring day, and after seeing Mariana out, she heads home. Her head is buzzing, questions floating. She sits in her rocking chair. One of her dogs gives a bark. She then looks up, and it washes over her, the need for her own addiction. She slowly, unbuttoning her linen shirt and draping her tweed jacket over a chair, she walks over, sits down, and turns on the computer. We are sure Dr. Leslie indulges in her dark sides, and she'll be back in the office, so let's...
David Hunt,
I can change my skin.
then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date.
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did
On
phone
Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I?
He was preoccupied with finding
Photographs,
patterns.
rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Oh, Doctor, you surprised me. Reminds me of Officer Yates. Did I ever mention I had a special friend in the police force? Nah, it's not something you drop politely into a conversation. He's been doing some digging and he's found a couple things. There's a crime scene report that goes into all the gory details and another report that's about a patient you're seeing today, Claire. I'll put them both on the desk for you. And thanks for the grief counselling, by the way. It's really been helping, you know, I'm so glad you're here.
Dr. Dekker smiles to herself as Jaya's warm hair, she smells a bit like cinnamon, brushes into her face, and they share a hug. Dr. Dekker tries not to think about last night. She'd promised she wouldn't do it again. She told herself it would never happen. Promises broken. But in this moment, in that hug with Jaya, Dr. Leslie I think I just said Dr. Dekker, didn't I? Dr. Leslie feels relief, a welcome feeling. As soon as Jaya walks out, Claire walks in. No nonsense. Wearing a beautiful dark green dress, or dark blue dress. And Dr. Leslie greets her as we enter into Act 3. Hello, Claire.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about. She was playing outside.
Ah, the girl. Do you know her name, this girl?
Think, Doctor, think. Use your brain. Or your notes if you have to.
I'll tell you, I just want to pop her right in the... Anyway. Dr. Leslie says, I am referring to my notes. You named this girl, but you did not name her. But you say she was playing outside, if you wish to keep so stringently on topic.
That's not relevant here.
I believe it is, actually, Claire. I believe it is. Well, then what is relevant? Claire killed David? Oh, heck yeah, let's look at those, Oh, Claire. And I have a moment. I need a moment to talk with Jaya. Stay here if you will. Have some coffee. Or tea if you're the type. And Dr. Leslie walks out and she says, Jaya, show me those reports again. Particularly Claire's arrest report. This is Christian Weber, a police officer. 7691. And to the best of my knowledge, by the way, if either of the developers are watching this, is that like somebody's birthday? Like July 6th? Or, well, you guys are British, so June 7th, 91. That'd be cool. Anyway, to the best of my knowledge, the statement is true, etc., etc. At 20:40 hours, 8:40 p.m. on Tuesday, the 8th of November, myself and PC Holt responded to a call received from a neighbor. Oh, are these words I can ask her about, perhaps? Of the Bower House, Weston Park Avenue, concerning a reported disturbance. We arrived at the address, knocked on the front door, but there was no reply. So Dr. Leslie continues to skim down the notes, feeling more and more disturbed as she goes. Pardon me, something just popped up on my screen. Let me pull that back up. It says here, Jaya, that they examined the rear of the property and gained entry through insecure patio doors. I wonder if that was the lake house or just the property, the main house. We entered the property through this door and I announced myself by shouting police, but did not hear any response. We searched the premises. A female seated next to a man who was lying on the ground. He did not appear to be conscious. Both persons were drenched in blood. And there was a substantial amount of blood on the carpet. There was a steak knife, he says here. He was dead. Claire Castleford, she said she knew the dead man and that he was her husband. She said she had killed him following a search by PC Holt, which revealed no other persons present at the house. I said to Castleford at 20:52 hours, you are under arrest on suspicion of murder. I see. Dr. Leslie quickly skims the rest of the document, and then she puts it down, walks back into Claire's office, or into the office with Claire. So that gives us quite a lot to ask about.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about. She was playing outside.
Claire, I have an arrest report here. And it speaks about, the night, the incident. David.
I'm getting tired of all these questions. I'm getting tired of everything.
Okay, so we have here, under clues, we can do, arrest report. Let's try neighbor, blood, steak knife, dead man. Neighbor, blood, steak knife, dead man. Let's also look at the crime scene report while we're up here. For Dr. Dekker. It says here the victim was located in his office. An obvious chest wound, a paper spike. A desk accessory. He died between 8:30 and 10:30 p.m. Stabbed. Just as Claire stabbed her husband. Okay. Neighbor, blood, steak knife, dead man. Okay, Claire. It speaks about a neighbor finding the body. Spell it the British way.
My neighbours seem far more interested in my business than they are their own. The lake house only has one house opposite, and it was on sale for some time. I suppose I should have bought it.
You know, if I took the time to write these things down, I would be constantly moving and checking away from the mic. That's why I just keep pulling them up. Blood, steak knife, dead man. There was a great deal of blood at the scene. Is that correct?
It's a messy business, stabbing someone. You'd imagine that it would be like slicing into a pie with all the filling just slowly oozing out, but it's so much more dramatic, like popping a cork of a bottle of champagne. Blood sprayed everywhere. That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
You're telling me that David still lives?
That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded.
Fatally wounded and funeral. He was fatally wounded. You were sitting there with the body.
Try asking me something I might know.
All right. Did I spell fatally wounded wrong? I could see that this would be, let's try this one more time, wounded.
David wanted to have a talk about our relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me anymore. Which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody. I reacted badly. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it. There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it. So I fixed him.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. In Act 2, so let's see this through Dr. Leslie's eyes. Both eyebrows lift and then settle back down with a thump on Dr. Leslie's face. Then she says, "You fixed him." On her pad, she draws a quick doodle of a moose head protruding from a plaque on the wall. In a quaint little cabin. So, not wanting to quickly dive on this, she lets it marinate while asking about the funeral.
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
I will do so, but I'm wondering about, you said you fixed him. What do you mean by that, Claire?
It was about a week later. I brought David back to life. Not with voodoo, not with virginal sacrifice. I just willed it to happen, and it did. Dr. Dekker told me it was possible, but only if you're not buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then, you have a chance at resurrection.
Resurrection. I have always felt being buried to be a very final thing, as I've spoken about before. So before he was buried, you did something, Claire. What? What is it that you did?
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term. Like, I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead.
The result sits in the lake house?
I think his brain was already decaying during the week that he was dead. Important bits. So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in. I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it. He's your basic Neanderthal. So I have a problem.
You do have a problem, I would say so, Claire. How do you see your problem?
I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me.
And this therapy, it was part of being charged?
Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder, to lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer. But I can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor?
Dr. Leslie swallows. Claire, would you like some tea? Or coffee? Jaya, could you refill the coffee pot and teapot? Jaya says, righto, and then there's a bit of bustle outside. At this moment, inside Dr. Leslie's heart, her intense desire for honesty in the therapeutic process on the side of the practitioner fights with her sense of mortal danger. She errs on the side of caution. No, I don't think you're a killer. Of course not.
Thank you, Doctor. So then you'll help me. You'll say I was temporarily insane.
I'm unsure, Claire. Your time is up. I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you, Claire. Now, let's move on to someone I've been really looking forward to seeing. Jaya sticks her head in and says, there's a Professor Warwick here to see you. He was one of Dr. Dekker's patients. He wishes to have a quick consultation. Doctor? Professor Warwick walks into the room wearing a blue button-down sweater or button-down shirt and very crisp jeans. He is a pleasant-looking man and rather agreeable-looking. Dr. Leslie says, "Hello. Professor Warwick, is it? I'm Dr. Leslie."
Professor Warwick, I'm a physicist. Where's Dr. Dekker?
Ha ha ha! This actor is John Guyler. John Guyler played Ryan Rand in Contradiction Spot the Liar, which I know so many of you enjoyed. And he... Is that a... Oh, gosh, John, hey, is that a play to Ryan Rand, who spent an entire, like, section of that game propping up a mantelpiece with a bit of liquor? Is that apple juice in there, John? That's what I want to know. There better be apple juice in there. Bottoms up. Okay. That's too much fun. Too much fun. Okay, so Professor Warwick. Well, let's ask him, see what his story is. Response is, hello.
Professor Warwick, I'm a physicist. Where's Dr. Dekker?
I like that little blink. Dr. Dekker is Leslie. Dr. Leslie figures that this is a man who, being a physicist, can handle the uncertainties in the universe, as well as its certainties. Dr. Dekker is dead. Let's see if that works.
Nope. I think you're going to have to Google that.
Okay. Let's try Dekker is dead. Dekker is dead.
Is he really? Actually dead? Not a worthy adversary after all, then.
A worthy adversary? To what do you refer? Did you have some game on, or is this referring to the therapeutic process?
Dr. Dekker challenged me. He tried to use my theories against me. Quantum theories.
Quantum theories. This is tickling my toes, so to speak, metaphorically, because I love quantum mechanics. Dr. Leslie, not interested, but I love them. Quantum theories. Quantum theories?
Do you really want to know? Dekker's eyes used to glaze over whenever we talked about that. He didn't believe in quantum physics. As if it's something that you can optionally believe in. Well, it started with an experiment.
This quantum physics started with an experiment. Let's see if I can spell physics right. There we go.
No, I don't know anything about it.
Oh, that was a game. That was a game playing me real well there. I take it you said you're a quantum physicist, yet you know nothing about quantum physics. Well, then in that case, do you know something about this experiment you were running?
Have you heard of quantum suicide, Doctor?
No, I cannot say I have. No, quantum suicide. Whoops.
Quantum suicide is a thought experiment that tries to explain the many worlds theory. You're looking at me blankly. I can see that you don't understand. I knew you wouldn't. Alternate universes. Essentially, if I were to shoot myself, then in some alternate universe, I'd still be alive. Now imagine if I could actually choose that universe. I'm taking a product off a supermarket shelf. Well, I simply applied that logic to something different.
Alternate universes. So I misspelled quantum suicide and the game still understood me. This is so fun. Alternate universes.
Perhaps ask me something physics related.
Okay. We're running out of time, so we'll come back to Ryan. I mean, not Ryan. Professor Warwick. Sorry, Professor. In the next episode. But for now, we're going to head out to the main menu, and we'll start the next episode with Professor Warwick and see if we can understand a little bit more about quantum suicide. At the end of this Let's Play, this series, once we've discovered who the murderer is, we will be seeing an interview that I will be conducting with John Geiler, who you just saw on camera, as well as Tim Cowles, the director, and a few of the other actors, I hope. So, in any case, look out for that at the end of this series. I am so glad you joined me today for more Infectious madness. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button below, and if you loved it, join the party and subscribe. I'll see you back here in Dr. Leslie's increasingly stuffy office in the next episode. And as always, thank you so much for watching.